Yes up, yes up, yes up, yes up, yes up, yes up. Blessed family, I just want to say welcome each and everyone to Let's Talk Tuesday's edition of the New Vibes Show. Yours truly, Miss Pretty J, and your boy Dapper D. And of course, tonight is a very special show. We have a young lady in the studios with us tonight, here to share some of her artwork. Most of this stuff is, I would say, Ethiopian background. I would take it. Dashiki, I see as far as book bags, earrings, wristbands. I see bandages for the ladies, earrings. I see scented oils. Is that I see over there? Yeah. And these are all natural stuff, right?
These are all natural.
All right. I like the sound of that.
I'm here. Welcome, everyone. Good night. This is the Let's Talk Tuesday edition of the New Vibes with Miss Pretty J and yours truly, Dapper D. And we have our special guest here, as Dapper said, Neota King.
Yes.
CEO of
All About Us. Selling designer African fashion for every occasion. And I also host trips to Africa. So that's what we're here to talk about tonight.
Absolutely. The first hour we're going to talk about this Ghana. Come on. We're going to talk about this Ghana trip. We're going to get involved with this Ghana trip, and then we're going to, the second hour, we're going to talk about the products, the merchandise you have. And thanks for being here. Thank you for even considering the Miss Pretty J show. I appreciate it. With much love, welcome. And thank you.
All right. Thank you for having me.
And tell us about you. You want to keep the little, background playing a little bit, and while Miss Neota tells us who she is.
Yes.
And where she's from.
Okay, I'm gonna give you my introduction. So my name is Neota Ye Asabuhi, and that's Swahili. In English, it means star of the morning. So all my life I've been submerged into African culture, stemming from my name. My family and friends have all embraced African culture, so I grew up in it, celebrating and learning the history of Africa. I am now 2 years running with my company selling the African clothes and designer jewelry. But I wanted to branch out, and the whole concept of these trips to Africa is to share my experience with others that have never been or maybe curious about going to Africa.
Is her mic good? Okay. Well, how did you get into this business, and what got your attention?
So in 2018, I had the privilege of traveling to the continent of Africa, and I went to the countries of Senegal and the Gambia. And it may sound like a cliche, but as soon as I arrived there and I got to interact with the people, I felt at home and I felt comfortable. And I just, coming back, I was very sad. I was a little depressed coming back on the plane. I had my hoodie on, I'm crying.
Why?
Because my soul just felt comfortable there. Wow. It's like your soul, your body knows that's where you came from.
Wow.
And so I was very comfortable. The people were very welcoming to me. And I feel like hosting these trips could share my experiences with others.
That's deep, like what you just said. You like literally cried when you
came back. I cried when I came back. I went twice, so I cried twice. But I just feel like every person of color should at least make the pilgrimage to Africa at least one time in their life. At least try to shoot for that goal, because it is a spiritual awakening, and it's also gives you insight on where you came from. Because before, we know we know of slavery. We know most of us were born in America, but we don't know any history before that. We don't know the history before that. So I want to let people know and have that connection with the history before our disturbance. I call it a disturbance because it's not all of our history, but it's a part of our history.
And when you say disturbance, you mean like when we got lost,
the Middle Passage, slavery, and the history that followed slavery. Yeah.
Wow.
So when I went, the people really embraced me. The message that they sent to me was they're welcoming us home. They would like us to come home, and I believe that our skills and our powers, or our knowledge that we know, can help benefit them so much, and they know things that can help benefit us as well.
Wow. Share some key points about Africa, and specifically Ghana, or I don't know the other parts. I don't know the names of them to call them. I'm sure I probably mess up those names, but share some key points about Africa that may surprise us.
Okay, so this year is a huge year in Ghana. The Ghana government initiated the Year of Return. So they are the only country right now that is formally welcoming people of color from the diaspora to return home. So they have a huge campaign going out, welcoming people home, trying to get those that want to live there reestablished with land and jobs. So that is a huge driving force behind why I'm choosing Ghana for 2020, because this year they're having celebrations and conferences welcoming us back home, but these are going to be ongoing events. So next summer we'll be going, and then there'll still be opportunity. Africa is like, I want to say, the new Wild West, because there's so much opportunity there as far as investment in business. Africa is the only place where we could go and create our own and be successful, I feel like. So
wow.
that is my main drive.
This is something that they do annually, or just a special time right now?
This is the first initial year to bridge that gap, because 2019 actually is the 400 years
that
we were slaves. So it's like the awakening, and I think this is the year this is the reason why they picked this year, is to recognize the awakening in our people and unify us, because there's been a lot of misconception about Africa, that they're not welcoming to us, they're not friendly to us. When I was there personally, I did not come across that attitude with anybody there. They were all welcoming and wanted to reunite with us, and I feel that's my message, is to let the people here know that.
So when you say welcome, it's when you're coming off of the plane. What is that like? I mean,
when you come off the plane, you get outside the airport, you're gonna see a sea of melanin, beautiful, beautiful melanin people of all shades and colors, and they're very bright smiles welcoming you. You go and you mingle with the people, you find them friendly. In America, I feel like we've gotten to the point where we're very standoffish with each other. When we're passing through, we don't greet each other. We just put a head down, or we lock our doors and keep driving.
It's almost as if you smile at someone, they're angry, they're upset because you say good morning,
and they're like, "Why are you looking at me?"
Yeah.
That
is true.
You don't get that attitude in Africa. You get a smile back, you get a hello back, or whatever the native language is. They greet you back.
Wow. So is Ghana? What other places outside of Ghana have you?
So I've done
visited?
This Ghana tour will be my third tour, and I have done two tours before, both going to Senegal and the Gambia. So Senegal is a French-speaking country.
So I was going to ask, what's the difference?
And that's why I chose these two countries to go to first, so people could see the contrast between the two. Like I said, Senegal is French-speaking, and the Gambia is English-speaking. It was a British colony. So you go from one to the other. One is more industrialized, I would say. Senegal is more industrialized and built up. Actually, Senegal is getting a new capital because the old one has about 6 million people in there, and just in the capital alone. So
6 million?
6 million. Senegal's population.
Miss Pretty J is just getting educated over. She's dropping some facts over here.
Senegal has about 13 million people in the whole country, and Dakar is the capital. And like I said, it's 6 million people there. They're actually moving the capital, and they're building like all new buildings and everything to combat the population.
Wow. I don't have to even ask right now that one good reason why we should visit Africa, because you've answered that question already.
Yeah, I feel the one good reason, if I do have to really go in on that question, is spiritual growth, and also growth for your people. It's a journey that like I said, I think every person of color should take.
Wow. DJ, what do you got to say on that, Dapper? You guys, Dapper, cheeks are kind of full over there. Toast, yeah, toast. Oh, nothing?
On that?
Yeah, I mean, what do you think? What do you have to say on the fact that
she girl behind the scenes just now, but
about everyone needs to take at least that one trip to Africa?
Believe, and this is something I've been saying for years, and I say it in joke, and a lot of people think that he's just saying it just to say it. If for any time that the mistake has been made and someone stamps my passport and lands me in Africa, I am burning it when I get there, because I ain't coming back.
Yeah, it's
not coming back.
It's hard to want to come back.
I'm taking everybody with me.
It's hard to.
You think so? If you cry, okay, so then I can imagine.
I have met Africans who have traveled the world, and their only message to everyone out there of color is to go home.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter, because people are going to say, well, what about these people? Because these people are different shades. She just explained that just by crossing the border,
right,
these people speak French and these people speak English. And then there are others that speak other dialects or other languages. But they are all of the same continent. Correct. And all of the same melanin, with the same spiritual background. As she said, she felt at home. She felt comfortable. The welcome was overwhelming to the point where she didn't want to leave. I mean, how can you deny something like that?
Man, I have to ask this one question. I'm sure everybody wants to know. Why do we need to take the yellow fever shot? It's when we're traveling over there. Why?
It's a precaution. It's hard to say why, because this is the interesting thing about the yellow fever shot. If you're over like 66, you don't have to get a shot. But I think it has to do with the way they treat their water. They don't treat it like we treat.
I was about to say, from my understanding of what I was told about that, is that it's the difference in not just the atmosphere, but the way the food is grown, the type of stuff that's in it. Why over the age of 66? Because more than likely you
you're immune to
certain things.
Certain things.
So your body, already had those stuff in it. Now those that are younger, like us, or me per se, I would need the shot because I am more, my body is more open to the more modern stuff, the more artificial stuff.
Right.
So for me to just jump and go back to that, it's gonna tear up your insides. Your immune system is not prepared for that.
It's not strong.
So that shot helps your body to relax and take that transition. It's just like moving to a different area. The water system. You might not drink it, but by brushing your teeth with it and it's just going in your mouth and going, you know what I mean? And what that does is once it goes into your system, your body's gonna start to react.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that's basically what that shot is.
Right.
You know, it's like as you said, a precaution. You know, for your body to accept the new stuff. You know what I mean?
And another thing that's required for this trip is the passport and the visa. Can you explain to people that that's not the same?
Yes. I'm glad you asked that question.
Because a lot of people think that their passport is a visa. No. Please help them out.
So, a passport is a document you need to get out of the country to go anywhere out of the United States. You need a passport. Certain countries require a visa, which is like an extra layer of security, saying that you're good to visit these countries for X amount of time. So, Senegal doesn't require a visa, but the Gambia does, and Ghana does as well. Nigeria does not require a visa. So it's just doing your research before you go and on these trips, and that's part of my duties as the host. Is any questions or reservations you have, I will be answering for you. And if you need instructions on how to get a passport, I help you with that. If you need help with getting the visa, because you apply to the embassy here in the United States. Whatever country embassy you're going to, you're going to apply there. And then you could free to travel to that country.
So is it like people have a really hard time with that process with the visa? Because I'm pretty much familiar with the passport process.
It's not difficult. It's just some people are not familiar with it. So the process, you have to have your passport first, and then you apply to the Ghana embassy in Washington. There's an application, so you send the application off along with your passport.
Is there a fee attached to that?
There is a fee. There's a $100 fee.
Okay.
And it varies because Ghana also has a visa good for 5 years, but that's a little bit more money. So you apply, you send your application, your passport, your visa, and you need 2 passport photos to go along with the visa. You FedEx that off with a return envelope inside. And it takes about maybe a week or so, and it'll come back to you.
Oh, okay. All right. So this Ghana's Homecoming Tour, you're the host of it. It takes place June 1st through the 10th of next year, 2020.
Correct.
And this fee per person, that's everything included.
Yeah, okay. So the trip, like you said, is June 1st through the 10th. 2020. So we are recruiting early. We do take a payment plan. So the total cost of the trip is $3,650, and that is airfare included, your hotel accommodations, also the ground accommodations, all the attractions we go to. We go to different museums. We go to the marketplace. A lot of people like to shop and purchase the merchandise from there. We're going to the Ashanti village and visit the Ashanti people. That is the main tribe of Ghana. So we will visit with them, learn the history about them. We go to the slave houses, which are very emotional. Wow. Yeah, it's very emotional, the slave houses. So all of that is included in your trip. Plus,
slave houses. I'm just curious. People live in the slave houses?
No. This is
just a museum.
This is the name of it. This is where they held slaves and transport. So they would gather the slaves from their villages, make them walk to a central location, mostly by some water or river, because that's how they were transported on boats. So the slave house is just a holding place for the slaves that were there. And when you go into these places, you could feel like the spirit. You could feel the energy there is very emotional because they separated families.
Wow.
So your child is in that dungeon or cage. You're with all the women. You could hear your child crying. You could hear your child suffering. Your husband is locked up over here with the rest of the men, and they're suffering, being beat and belittled. Women, we're being taken as they please, and they're doing whatever with us, raping us, doing whatever with our bodies. And so it's emotional to hear the story of that, because I feel like anybody with compassion, how can you lock up a people like that?
Right.
With you know what I'm saying, if you have a heart.
Right.
So we do visit that, but on one note, it's sad and depressing, but on another note, I feel like it gave me personally energy and fuel, because I believe if my ancestors made it through all that suffering, the Middle Passage, being here in America and being oppressed, we're here for a reason. And I want to make that my mission is to let people know where we came from, and that our heritage is strong, and we should stand up and be a strong people. And I'm not saying stand up and be violent against people, but stand up and be the person that you are inside. Be a doctor, a lawyer, be somebody, do something with your talents. Don't let them waste. And so that's what my mission is now.
And I can see that you're passionate about it. I wish I had some tissue. I'm sorry to get some. I see that you're passionate about that, and I love that. What's one thing that you would say to our young generation in reference to this? What's that one thing that you would say?
I would say for them to learn their history. It's important. A lot of other cultures make it a point to go home.
Yes. You're right.
They make a pilgrimage to go home.
They do.
Jewish people take their grandchildren, take their children to Israel.
They're not afraid to teach them the
No.
history.
Yes, correct.
And they're much more receptive.
And that's what I wish we would do. I'm not saying for everybody to move to Africa, because some people won't make it. Africa is.
Some people.
I'm just keeping
It's
it
a
real.
jungle. It's the realest jungle you're gonna ever get into.
It's not developed. It's some areas that are developed. They have malls and everything that is of American convenience or European convenience.
Right.
But there are a lot of undeveloped areas, and I stayed there a month.
Really?
Yeah, I stayed there a month. After the tour was over, I stayed there a month. Living in the community and dealing with the things that they deal with on a daily basis, which are
Give me an example of something that they deal with on a daily
when you
basis.
say underdeveloped, give us an example.
Give me an example.
Okay, so I married someone in Africa, in the Gambia. So I lived with them in the Gambia, my husband, for that month. And in the Gambia, they have an issue with power. They don't have a power plant. They are building a power plant now. But they're getting power from these two large barges in the Gambian River. So sometimes it's not enough on the grid. So this side of town will have power and the other side won't.
Let me stop you right there, because I want to touch on that subject for a minute. I was reading something about Akon. And Akon, the Chinese or the Japanese had built these solar powered things for the U.S. The U.S. didn't want them.
Yeah.
Akon did his research because he knew Africa was having this issue about one part, when they have lights, the other part don't have lights.
Correct.
So when they have lights, the other part don't. So he bought these and went, and that's how they're starting to get the electricity over in Africa, because of what Akon has done with these solars. He went and he's like a FP&L. Like,
Yeah, and
did you hear about this?
Yeah,
Are
yeah.
you familiar with
I'm
that?
familiar with
Okay.
this. And Akon is from Senegal.
Okay.
So that is his home country. But that's another opportunity to where I say this Africa is like the only place you can
that
go.
brother went there.
And have that opportunity to develop whatever ideas you have in your mind. Okay, I know we have this issue with power.
Yes.
I'm going to develop a power system.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? That is an opportunity for us here.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have that because
Right.
the opportunities are like monopolized.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Right.
And so,
You're
Like
right.
roll the dice.
Mhm.
yeah. So it will be harder to start a company like that here,
Right.
but it will be
It was ideal for
correct.
just for that, because like you said, they're battling going without power.
So that's one typical issue. It's like they'll have power and it'll go out for a few hours. So that's the inconvenience that a modern American probably is not going to
Used
do.
to.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
That we can't do that.
I don't know where the power went.
Wait. My laptop.
Yeah.
The
I
Wi-Fi.
need to charge my phone.
Yeah, the Wi-Fi is not readily available over there. You know, if you're in a hotel or a restaurant, you have access to it, but the typical home doesn't have that.
Wow.
So those are some challenges that
Okay, so basically what you're saying is it is not a painted picture to tell the world that anyone is suffering. There are still large communities in
Yes.
Africa where people still have mud and dirt roads. Like
Correct.
no real,
Just wooded
Road.
land.
correct.
Just
Yeah.
wooded.
Yeah.
basically, houses are still looking mid-time type buildings,
Yeah, the house.
older stuff.
I think the house my husband is like in the 60s or 50s. It looks
See,
like
so,
that.
So I'm
Like
on
the
point with that
tile,
part.
yeah,
Right.
the tile.
Okay.
But there are areas that are really developed.
Yes, no, I mean
Yeah.
we've seen it, you
Yeah.
know, but then a lot of people would see the how would you say it, the more jungle type
The rural
scenery
area,
and be
yeah,
like,
the rural area.
it's 2019.
So-
how are they still?
So
you
why
know,
that's my thing. Why this area? Why not all the areas? Why do they pick and choose?
is that a choice of
Why
the
is it the
people?
development in this area and not in this area?
It's a mix of both. It's a choice of the people, and then it's like what has been popularized, modernized. You know, if these are tourist spots, they're more
Okay,
likely
gotcha.
to
Right.
get modernized
Build
first.
up.
Right.
Yeah,
Yes.
they're more likely to
Yes,
get modernized
yes,
first.
yes.
Or if that region has money, if that region has a lot of money, then of course they're gonna develop and have modernized things. But there's other cultures and community also invested in Africa that build it up. Yeah.
But they're not reaping these rewards. I'm taking it.
No, the people are not. The people of Africa are not. So it's like everybody has their hands in Africa
Yes.
except the Africans. The Chinese,
Yes.
the Japanese, the
Ever
Europeans.
since I was a kid,
Yes.
I've been hearing
The
that-
Chinese.
just that little piece right
Yeah.
here, where everyone
Has
has
their-
a hand in Africa except for Africans.
Correct. The
And I
French.
believe it's time
And they
that
were the
Africans
ones that
take it
funded
back.
him that monies to be able to. They gave him $1 billion credit or something, $3 billion credit for those solars. I don't remember. I think it's some high, amazing number that the Chinese gave Akon this credit limit for those.
And see that's another factor over there. That their money system is different. Each country has a different denomination of money. So it may have been $3 billion
To us,
in us, but over there,
right,
it might
right,
be
exactly,
something else.
exactly.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
So
That
do
I
you
didn't
know?
know.
Do
I
you
would've
know
thought
of
he went to
any
Africa
parts
just now.
that he has worked on and it's running up successful now?
Well, he has a large part of developing the new capital in Senegal. They're building a new stadium there. They're also he had a large part dealing with this new airport that's open now, but they're building another one as well because so much traffic is coming in and out.
Wow. Where am I on time with the first hour? Yeah.
We're good.
Okay. Wow. You are it's quite evident you're very knowledgeable about Africa. And what did you do? Just go into some deep studying? You went in hiding? What did you do to? You didn't just get it. You digest.
Well,
and you have it.
That's what I was saying. Initially, when I started speaking, like my whole upbringing has been Africa friendly, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Like we did Kwanzaa celebrations, and this is the funny thing: they don't celebrate Kwanzaa in Africa.
No?
That's an American holiday that we developed to try to connect with our roots in Africa.
Okay.
Yeah. But
wow.
I've been taught a lot about Africa just coming up, growing up with my father. He really is instrumental in like my life, how it's going now. He was in the Merchant Marines. He was stationed in Kenya. So me and my sister have Swahili names. Of course, he came and had his career span. Now he's retired, and he's been traveling back to Africa like ever since he retired. And so one year he was like, "You want to go?" And I was like, "All right." Like I didn't see Africa in a negative light. I just never envisioned I would go there.
Right. I really want to go. I just want to go to. I do. I want that experience. I want to go.
Yeah.
I definitely want that experience. But man, you can tell that you've been around it, and do you have children?
Yes, I do.
Okay, and of course I know you're growing them. The culture is around them as well. Is it hard with today's children, with society being the way that it is? Is it hard for you to get them focused on and to go down that same avenue such as the family? Or would you say that you would just allow them to be them, that their own person, until they get to be an adult and see if that's what they want to do?
So, my daughter turned 19 on Friday.
Ooh, a 19-year-old.
Yes.
Woo!
Look.
Yes.
Wow.
Sneak outside in the parking lot.
3 o'clock.
Right after school.
Oh boy, a 19-year-old.
But she has been fortunate enough to travel with my father. She's been to 5 different countries. She's been to Senegal, Ghana, Gambia, Togo, and Benin.
That's a story at 19.
That's a very good story at 19. But
yeah,
I don't feel. Still, she knows the importance of the depth of it. She's
just traveling.
I just traveled to Africa, and it was cool. She liked it.
But he's preparing her for that story later, because she's gonna have a story just as you have your story. You're able to share that story now.
Yeah.
Wow, 19. That's she's your only one.
Only one.
Wow.
That's enough.
So how does she feel about all this Africa?
She's happy. She's okay with it. She's just like, Mom's doing something. That's why I say I don't feel like she knows the importance of it, even though she's been there. Because, like you said, today's kids, a lot of things is like social media, or they don't feel like the history is really real.
Yeah, they don't.
I that's what I feel like. I think they know it's important, but I don't feel like they know it's real. Yeah, the reality of it. Like these things really happen.
They really don't believe it was horse and carts back.
Correct. Yeah.
They didn't believe the first car was cranked. Right?
Yeah.
They don't. They don't believe those things.
Yeah. Diapers always existed.
Yeah.
Man, wow, that is something. So let's go over
the trip.
The trip, you got hotel. It's including the hotel accommodations, the attractions, all ground arrangements. The 1 meal, lunch, dinner per day.
Yeah, so we do eat as a group. So it's $36.50, like you said. It's the hotel, the airfare included, the attractions, the sites, the ground accommodations is all paid for. The 1 meal per day when we at the hotel, normally they have, the continental breakfast in the morning. You will eat that. When we go out, just depending on the timing, we'll eat lunch together as a group, depending on the attraction, or dinner. So we all meet up as a group and eat that 1 meal together daily. anything outside of that, you would pay for it on your own. That would be your own expense. Yeah.
And I noticed on there you're going to go to 3 different cities.
Yes. So we're going to Accra, Kumasi, and Elmina. So these are 3. Accra is the capital of Ghana.
Okay.
So we
Accra.
Accra is the capital.
I've been messing
Ghana.
up the word the entire time. Accra.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we will visit different governmental buildings around there, learn the history of that city. Mina is a lot where the Ashanti people are. And then Kumasi has a large market, and that's pretty famous for the market.
Where they do all the shopping.
Do all the shopping and get all that good fabric from.
Yeah, make those. Is it like what you see on those African movies?
Yes.
Is it?
Yes. It's very busy. It's very busy. You gotta understand, like, the population over there is different. They view the family structure different. The more kids you have, the more prominent you are, because they have to have more kids. That's just like back in the day when they were having a lot of kids here to help on the farm, help with housework. Right. So that is the importance of it. So it is a lot of people there.
The bigger the family, the bigger the
wow.
business.
Yes, correct.
Hey, man. And then you're gonna
we're going
see
to
the African museums of the history, the Independence Square, the Ghana National Cultural Museum.
Yeah, the center, yeah. And then we go to
I see a preserve.
A preserve, yes. That's just with like not a safari, so don't think we're gonna see giraffes, but
like it's no lions and tigers and bears.
You'll see hippos and zebras.
Really?
Yeah. You see all of those animals there. Yeah.
Just
on the reserve. Yeah, they're living. They're living their best life.
Walking around.
Yeah.
So I can just go visit a village.
Like we have dogs just walking around.
Walk by.
Say that again.
Like I could visit a village and just see a hippo just walk by, going by this own
Not
business.
any village. It gotta be near the water. You gotta look at the environment.
So it has to be near the species comfort zone.
Correct.
Basically.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, interesting.
So
interesting.
Another. Okay, go ahead with your
Do
question.
people pet lions? I want to pet a lion.
Okay, so the areas I went before, they didn't have lions there. But I don't recommend you jumping in and petting a lion like that lady in New York. No, don't do that, dog. Don't go
I
there.
ain't trying to go out that lady in New York now. She was on a whole nother level.
And the sign is big as day. Do not pet the
However, the areas I went, okay, so the areas that I've been to are kind of modernized. They do have animals there. We went to Crocodile Pool with crocodiles. They just all around.
Where they swim.
Yeah, but they're right there. They're like you can touch them.
No.
Crocodiles. But the people, the caretakers, they overfeed them fish. That way they're not aggressive when we come.
The crocodiles
smart
have caretakers.
Caretakers?
Yeah. And they overfeed them, so they just
so they don't eat us.
Yeah. So
that's smart right there.
Yeah.
On the other side of the world, they have caretakers.
Crocodiles have caretakers. Yeah, that's crazy.
Caretakers on the other side of the world.
One hotel I went to in Senegal, it's called the Senegambia. It's the best hotel. I love this hotel, but it has Senegambia because at one time Senegal and the Gambia were one country. Yeah.
Okay.
So the area closest to the border, the northern side of the Gambia, they call that area Senegambia, but they have monkeys, like little monkeys, running around that hotel. And they have people that feed them so they won't come up and grab your food out your hand and stuff like that. They feed the vultures there as well.
The monkeys running around
the hotel. Mm-hmm. And on the roof, and the roof is tin. So when they're running, it's like shh,
like the coons over here.
And so
you know what you see.
I know.
Man.
Yeah. What else? What other animals?
That's like the
I saw
Lion
there?
King. We're
It's
gonna hang
like
out with the Lion King.
It's another forest we went to called Makazutu. It's a cultural forest, a spiritual forest. It has a palm reader in there, and I think that's so cool. I'll tell you about that in a second. But they have baboons walking around there.
Who?
Yeah.
Baboon?
Yeah, walking
Monkey's
around there.
ugliest cousin.
Oh my God.
And so, but they run from you though. Like when we're walking.
So it's not like what we would think. We
No,
would
it's
think
not.
to take off
They're
and
gonna
run.
attack you, but they're actually going away from you and not
Yeah,
towards
because
you.
they're really wild animals, and they're like they see this unfamiliar species coming, so they run.
like
yeah.
us.
Yeah.
Hey, fear.
Oh my
So
goodness.
yeah, but in the Makazutu forest, you're walking along. It's like a nature trail, and then you go see the palm reader. And the palm reader, it tells you like your fortune if you're into that. So I know some people don't believe in that. So he'll say, like for me, I'll tell you guys this. He told me that I'm gonna keep returning to Africa. He said I'll have many trips to Africa. So he'll tell you things like that, and you're like, yeah, it's not happening. But then
It happened.
It happens slowly, and you're like,
He did say that.
He did say that. Yeah.
Man. So how long did it even take you to get educated on the different cities and because you speak just like you were born there, you're just gonna come over and you could give a lesson on it. No, I'm serious. I love that. It's like how long did it even take you? And it's hard to pronounce some of those.
It is hard.
Words like
it is very hard. I don't know. It's just I don't know. It came natural to me. I'm a traveler. So before I even went to Africa, I love traveling. I don't like grass growing under my feet. I'm always down to go somewhere. Yeah, I'm always down. So I'm open, and I think when you're open, you accept things a lot easier.
Right.
So when I was there, I just asked a lot of questions. I had my little book, and I'm jotting notes and things like that. And I just pay attention. We have a tour guide, so when the tour guide gives the history, I listen intensely to that history. Yeah.
Man, and that's awesome. That's awesome. Do you think we would do better as a culture if we knew the roots, our roots, or just went back?
Absolutely. Yes, ma'am. I strongly agree, and that's part of my mission is to try to
spread the
knowledge and debunk some of the misconceptions that the media has about Africa.
Right.
Because I was talking to people, and I'm like, you want to go to Africa? Africa? Why I want to go to Africa? Like, what I want to do that for? But like I was saying earlier, every other country goes home.
Yeah.
The Chinese go home. The Europeans go home. The Russians go home. So they can have that connection with their heritage. And I think that's where our downfall is. Mm-hmm. We have no connection. We're like a plant without a root.
Yeah.
So if we don't have that connection, we could never grow and understand our situation. Yeah.
So, I mean, and then that takes me to the event that you're doing this weekend about Enough is Enough.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to save our brothers,
youth,
our youth.
Our youth from...
and that's a rally to help bring awareness to gun violence, right?
Yes, that is in Pompano this Saturday from 12 to 4. And there'll be other vendors out there with their merchandise selling it. But the goal is, like you say, to bring awareness to gun violence, to have some peace with each other. It seems like we hold grudges against us,
right,
but we let everybody else slide. And that's what we need to heal. We need to forgive each other.
Right.
And that would start the healing process in our community.
So what are some of the activities or things that you're going to have going? You're going to have some speakers there, or what's the setup for Saturday?
They do have speakers there to talk about the epidemics going on in our community. This is not my event that I'm putting on.
Okay.
So I don't have all the details. I'll be participating as a vendor.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
selling my
All right.
merchandise.
But it's a good thing. I wish I had the flyer to even talk about it. It's gonna be down in our area, down here in Pompano, right?
Pompano, yeah.
Pompano area.
Okay.
And that's this
It's
area.
at Apollo Park.
Okay.
Apollo Park.
Apollo Park.
Yeah.
And what time is
It's
it?
from 12 to 4.
Okay. Okay. And we know that Carnival is going on also this weekend, but this is much more important than Carnival, trying to save our youth.
Correct.
It's a horrible, horrible thing that's going on, and it's the norm. It seems like the thing now to get a T-shirt to put a dead body on it and say R.I.P. Ernest. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
But I believe it's all. Personally, I believe it's all like a setup. You know, I believe a lot like this is like a social experiment.
Mhm.
Let's put these variables with these people and see how they react. And we have to start thinking about that because other cultures are thinking like that.
Right.
And that's why they're succeeding, and that's why they're like, okay, we, even though they have issues in their community as well, it's more control and they have more support
Right.
when things do happen.
Mm-hmm. You're right. You're absolutely right about that. That's hands down. They get the support. They're there. One of the key factors is they have both parents in the home, and they do the statistics on that.
And I'm so glad you commented on that because
Yeah,
I wanted to touch on that, but I didn't want to like come off and get all on my
No,
soapbox.
this the new Vibe show.
But I feel like that's part of this social experiment. Let's remove an element out of the home, a key element out of the home, and see how these people survive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, take out a dad.
Yeah.
And I feel like in every culture, it's ingrained in those people. Get married. Get married.
Mhm.
You have to get married. You have to get married. In our community, in the black community, girl, you don't need no man. What you doing? Da, 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 da.
You're right.
But that's breaking us
Mm-hmm.
because
It's something
Our
that
young
was
brothers
taught.
need it.
It's something that was taught before we were 100% free from slavery.
But that's what I'm saying.
The
It's
separation.
all a part of this
Yeah.
mechanism.
Yeah,
It's a
just
part
like
of
you
the
said,
mechanism.
it's like how do you put that? It was a planned event,
Yes.
basically. You know, we're all guinea pigs in the
Correct.
experiment.
Right. Right.
Let us do this here and see how it turns out.
Yes.
You know, let's take this people and this people, let's put them here, and let's put this in the middle and see how they would react. You know what I mean? It's like
Wow.
Because
knowing
it's
that
the-
we're dogs and we want the bone, but it's only one bone. Why would
But
you-
it's the natural
you know,
order
instead of sharing it.
of life, man, woman, child.
Yeah.
It's the natural order.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And everybody knows that that's the simple basics of humanity. So what they did is they broke up the simple basic of humanity. And that's a concept like Fantasia had a interview a few weeks ago, and she said that she feels like women
Yes.
should submit.
Submit
And
to
everybody
them.
was on in social media. She's crazy. She don't know what she's talking about.
They didn't listen to her.
They didn't listen
Yeah.
to the whole interview.
They didn't listen to
They
her.
didn't listen to the whole interview.
Right. I completely agreed with her.
They caught the first clip of it
Mm-hmm.
and they ran with it.
Right. Right.
But if what she's saying is the same thing I'm saying. It's a
Right.
natural order to
Yeah. The
the
first man, then
woman, child.
then child.
So everybody has to know their place. Of course, you're not going to submit to a man who is not in his level.
Right.
She's not saying just go out there and submit to
Exactly.
anybody.
Any man.
Yeah, she's not saying that. She's saying
If
submit
he's
to
not,
a man.
if he's not submissive to the Father, to the Creator,
Correct.
how do you expect me as a woman to come and be submissive to you?
Thank
My
you.
children not gonna listen to me.
Yeah.
And that's just The domino effect
yeah,
of
it's
it.
a domino effect.
Right.
And then in Africa, they really believe in that dynamic, and I think that's why they're stronger in unity, you know, and they're richer in unity. They don't have a lot, but they're happy with what they have. They're satisfied. They treat each other well. So I believe that's part of our downfall, not having that man, woman, child dynamic in the home.
I believe I completely agree.
We were ripped apart as a community.
Correct.
So I think that we're still trying to be a community to this day. 400 whatever, how many years later,
yeah.
We're still trying to be a community. Like, we don't know how to share. You know what I mean? If you look at it, even in the homes, like, and as she said, it's not that a young lady does not want a boyfriend or she does not want a husband, but it's something that she has seen and, was seen by her aunts and her mom to let us try to just go along without this person because this is what this person is.
But that's tough because you have someone like myself. I know Trish also, she's probably, but grew up in a home with mom and dad. So for me to be in a relationship without, I'm like, what? You know what do you understand what I'm saying?
Understand.
And it's like, I didn't choose this. It's just that he missed out on what he was supposed to get. It's why he's not where he needs to be for.
And that's what we
this
need to
individual.
understand about not all of our males, but the majority of our males. We're damaged.
Mm-hmm.
We're damaged from slavery. We're damaged from the Middle Passage. All that trauma is ingrained in our DNA. Believe it or not, it's ingrained in our DNA. That's why they say the angry black woman.
Mm-hmm.
Because we have all that hurt in us from generation. So what we need to do is realize that we're hurting, realize that we're broken, and try to come to some way to resolve that. Because that's like an addiction. The first step to healing is admitting you have a problem.
Mm-hmm.
If you keep saying...
It's okay.
Yeah, if you keep saying, girl, I'm fine. I'm a strong black woman. I don't need
nothing
nobody.
wrong with me.
Yeah, that's a lie.
Right.
Wow.
Something
'Cause
is
we
wrong
need
with us.
somebody.
We
We
do.
all need somebody.
Yeah. So that's the misconception that we have out in the society today.
And before we have 2 minutes, I want you to talk about. I want you to speak on this because I just love this conversation. What do you say to those women that say they don't need a man in their young males in their son's life? That young boy doesn't need that male in his life. She feels that she did a great job with that male. And I want to touch on this because it's surrounding what we're talking about right now.
I feel like they're fooling themselves. To be straight up, they're fooling themselves. They're depriving their child of that experience. Because it's necessary.
Yes.
Even in the animals, you see it. You see for real, you see the mama and the daddy and the mama elephant, the daddy elephant, and the baby elephant. So I feel like they're fooling themselves.
Man, we're gonna get ready to again, guys. This is Let's Talk Tuesday edition of the New Vibes with Miss Pretty J and yours truly, and I'm here with Neota King, and we're gonna get ready to go on a little commercial break. And Dab, you're gonna give us some little background here. Thank you, man. I am really enjoying this conversation. Thank you. We're ready on that break, so you can talk. They still can hear us.
Okay.
We're gonna go on a commercial. Yeah.